some wonderful news today coming out of the Melbourne's Walter and Eliza Hall Institute, where the researchers there have made an incredible breakthrough that may hold the promise of killing off cancer cells completely. One of those researchers is Dr. Gemma Kelly, who joins us now. Hi, Doc.
Good morning.
Doctor, this is wonderful news that we're reading on the front page of the Herald Sun today. What actually has your research found?
Yeah, it's very exciting. And what we found is that we already know that a large majority of human cancers have abnormal expression of this protein called MYC, and this forces the cells to grow very rapidly. And what we were interested to determine was how these cancer cells were staying alive, because obviously this would identify targets for new drugs. And excitingly, we found that we could kill the lymphoma cells by disabling this protein called MCL1. And the cells would die really quite quickly as well. So this suggested to us that inhibitors or drugs that would target MCL1 may be very good for treating a large majority of human cancers.
And so what particular cancers does your research pertain to more than any other?
So the work that we've been doing is on lymphomas, in particularly one called Burkitt lymphoma. But we hope that our results will be applicable to a broad number of cancers, because we know that up to 70% of human cancers show this abnormal expression of this protein called MYC.
And how long has it taken you guys to get to this stage? You know, obviously it sounds like such a big discovery, but I assume it hasn't happened all of a sudden.
Yeah, so there's been a team of us working on this, and this research particularly has taken about 4 years to come to publication. This is obviously very primary research, so the kind of the fundamental research, and we hope that in the future this will be taken into the clinic.
What's the next step here, Doctor? Once you've now got this research now, do you go away and put something in practice to go away and test as to whether what your research has discovered as to whether it actually will work with patients?
Yeah, so there's a large amount of interest into developing drugs that can target this protein already. And so that we're hoping in the next few years these drugs will become available and we can do some experiments to really test them, and then this will move into a clinical trial.
And when you're saying that happens fast, so you've got this drug that can kill these particular cells, How quickly does it work? How fast is that happening?
So in our experiments we can kill the cells in 24 to 72 hours.
Gee, that's quick. And so from the time they're diagnosed and that patient's diagnosed, are you saying that you could then perhaps eliminate those cells within that a short period of time?
We can't say probably at this stage, because obviously all our experiments are in the lab at this moment, but we would be optimistic that this would be a good treatment for a large number of patients with cancer.
We heard from one of our daily correspondents today from the United States that cancer rates in America have dropped by something like 15 or 20%.
Cancer death rates.
Death rates. Is those same sort of rates applicable here in Australia as well, Doctor?
I'm probably not qualified to tell you that. I'm more of a researcher rather than a clinician, but I think it's fair to say that I think it is 1 in 2 Australians may be affected by cancer before the age of about 85. There's obviously a large health burden here.
Doctor, you're obviously with an accent. You're not from this part of the world.
No,
was the reason you came to Melbourne was to be involved in this research at the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute?
That's absolutely true. I'm from the UK, and I came here specifically to work at the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute with Andreas Strasser on this molecular genetics of cancer project.
That is fantastic. With this cancer research that you're doing, do you align that now with other like-minded sort of institutes around the world as well?
Oh, of course, yeah. Our research is always very highly collaborative. This work in particular, we worked with the University of Birmingham in the UK, but you will always find this with most of the research projects that we go to the centres that are the best to work with them.
All right, and just finally, what's the best thing about Melbourne?
The coffee.
The coffee, is it? My gosh,
the science, obviously the science.
You're
the coffee as well.
You're a Melbourneite so quickly, you really are, that you've nominated coffee as the most important thing about Melbourne. Doctor, we do appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today, and congratulations on this wonderful research.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Dr. Gemma Kelly, their cancer researcher from the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute.
It is interesting, isn't it? You know, when we listened to Bob earlier and he said those cancer death rates in 20 years have gone down 20%, and they largely put it down to smoking and less people smoking. Surely it's things like these sort of breakthroughs. I said to you earlier, you know, for me personally, as maybe a younger Australian, I would certainly know more people that have survived cancer than have died from it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my demographic, it's probably the other way, which is quite sad. But I'm so impressed by these people. I seriously, and the work they do is just fantastic. It seriously is.